Hey everyone, how's it going? Super excited today. My name is Zach, and I'm here with Dr. Benji, LA's top-rated dietitian in the area. He has two locations. Well, first of all, how you doing, doctor?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Sorry, so
Good.
excited, to throw out your credentials and everything. Yeah, you got the spot in downtown Los Angeles and Garden Grove, and we'll have your link in the bio and everything. But we can find you on
Yeah.
Instagram at Dr. Benji, correct?
Yes, sir. All right, Dr.
Excellent. Very
Benji.
cool. Oh, well, we're super excited to have you. Obviously, you're a busy man. We want to just jump right into it. Tell me, kind of what you're doing out there at the two locations, how you're making that all work, how you got into it. Just shoot, man.
Yeah, so I did my training in Philadelphia at Temple University, and I come from a background of doctors and surgeons, probably 4 or 5 uncles, 6, 7 cousins, and my mom happens to be a diabetic, so I got into the podiatry world through her. I learned a lot about her ailments, and that's how I got started. The majority of my practice is surrounded by diabetics, patients with vascular disease. I do some sports medicine and trauma.
Mhm.
I find that it's interesting because of my desire for surgery and art. So I think surgery is an art. It definitely keeps me motivated because there's never something you've never seen before. It truly is something unique every single time because the
Mhm.
patient's different. So I focus on all sorts of podiatry problems, not just diabetic foot care. So I do elective surgery, I do cosmetic surgery. People always ask me, like, why don't you just subspecialize? Well, I'm already a specialist, so I try to do everything involving the foot and ankle. So, but yeah, I'm in downtown LA, and there's a satellite office I cover in Orange County, and I'm very happy to be here. And I think my primary mission, alongside with what your goal is to just educate the public, educate the world, not only with my services, but hopefully one day with products, so I can get people walking and moving without pain. That's my primary goal, my mission.
Right. Yeah, we see that a lot. People will kind of delve into inventing or creative or innovating some type of product that's helping people with, whether it be heel pain or this and that.
Yeah.
You feel like that's kind of where you're shifting to, or you do a ton of surgeries and stuff now. Like what's kind of the next move this year?
I find that you always want to go towards something you're passionate about, no matter what line of work. If you're an accountant, you're into business, you're in marketing, you want to find that niche that you're super passionate about. And mine is I want to be able to impact the world, not just Americans. I want to come out with a product that helps people, not only, in the line of inserts, but also vitamins that'll help with nerve pain.
Mm.
uh, I'm offering video consultations around the world. So if anyone wants to Skype, I'm available that way to just talk about their problems and to offer recommendations for people who live, 5,000, 6,000 miles away. That's my passion. Now, in my physical practice, I'm more focused on doing elective surgeries at this point. We deal with patients who have disgusting bunions and crooked toes, and they just don't like the way that it looks, and it makes them feel insecure. And so, yeah, that's what I really love to do, and it makes them feel empowered to move on with their lives. They can go to the beach and they can show their feet off. They're not insecure about wearing high heels, and actually a lot of athletes that I see, professional athletes, do have a lot of foot problems, and so. The majority of what's to come is in the telemedicine arena, as well as products for shoes for people to wear.
I love that. And that's
Yeah.
that's interesting that you make that point. Even athletes, even the people who are most reliant on their feet, I guess it leads me to my next question is what do you see as being kind of that disconnect between I'm in pain, or I've lived in pain, or this is normal versus like, okay, I got to get this checked out now. Where do you usually find people on the spectrum, and where do you go from there?
It's interesting you say that. I think the majority of people who actually have low back pain, or some sort of pain in their back or in their hip area, they actually have pain that's originating in their feet. So, or it could be vice versa, meaning the majority of the time when patients say, oh, my feet hurt or my back hurts, they think that eventually it's just going to go away. Now, that could be true if you're in your 20s, your teens, but as you get older and we're more stressed in general, it's very difficult for these pain syndromes to go away. And I think the disconnect comes from patients who think that, again, like just doing physical therapy or just doing at-home therapy will be able to get it better. And we assume that going on YouTube and watching videos will help us, educate ourselves and get better. And that's true to a certain extent. But I find that if it's been 3-4 weeks and you've been trying those types of things and you're still in pain, whether it's stemming from your back and going down your feet or starting in your feet and moving up towards your back, that's a time that you need to go see a specialist. And I think now that the most inspiring part to me is that my patients that come in, they're more educated than ever because of the access to social media and all the content that's on the internet. And it works in our favor, but sometimes it doesn't because they think they already know what the problem is.
Yeah.
And so that's the most difficult part for me. So.
Yeah, you have to talk people out of the diagnosis they've given to themselves already, right? Yeah.
Correct. And that's very difficult to do. You think it'd be pretty easy, but if someone thinks they have this tendonitis, you kind of have to slowly bring them out of there and move them somewhere else. So,
that's right. Very nice. Well, do you maybe have just an underlying, maybe you've spoken on it a little bit, but, just an underlying like advice, again, of the idea of, like you said, maybe not self-diagnose yourself, or when for people to come find you, or, maybe people are a little worried about like, oh, I don't want to pay for this. Do you handle insurance, cash patients? Do you, what's kind of your advice?
Yeah, we handle, I take pretty much every insurance. I take Medicare, even Medi-Cal, which is basically like Medicaid, only because I know that I don't want to be able to turn away patients at this point, because I'm more concerned about getting the word out and getting more patients to come in so they understand not only who I am and what I'm about, but also to spread the word about foot health in general. Sure. I do take cash patients. I work, on various different insurances, but for me, I think it's most important to sit down and actually educate patients, talk about why they're having the problems, and actually teach them some anatomy, because I feel like a lot of times when doctors go in, and I saw this a lot in my residency training, we go in and we expect that the patient already knows what we're talking about. So I like to take a step back, grab my anatomy chart, and show them this is where you're having pain, and kind of follow along the tendon to see why it is that they're having that pain. So a lot of patients and a lot of human beings, we all learn in different ways, whether you're audio, you listen and you learn, or you're visual, or you're hands-on. And so I feel like the majority of my patients are visual. So if they see it, they can kind of understand, okay, this is what's going on. This is how we actually need to fix it.
Nice. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And then also, you said you had the 2 locations. What's the big difference between the downtown LA and Garden Grove?
That's good. Not really much. I would say downtown's more working professionals, younger populations. We take from several accounting firms, big business groups, finance companies that come from downtown. The executives don't have time, we're 5-10 minutes away. Whereas Orange County, we're in a suburb outside of Anaheim, and it's more not really mom and pop, but like Medicare patients, older, getting ready to retire, but they're still having foot pain. They want some inserts for the shoes, that kind of deal. So, and then in my downtown office, we have a laser for toenail fungus. So that's a benefit that brings patients in. In Orange County, I'm considering doing that, but right now the need is not there. It's mostly foot pain, and they need custom insert or elective cosmetic surgery like bunions, hammer toes, heel pain, Achilles problems. So those are the 2 big differences.
Very nice. Well, that's about all I got. Yeah, you answered all my questions for sure. Anything else you want to leave your audience with today?
Follow me on Instagram, Dr._Benji. I'm always posting. I post once or twice a day about educational tips. And honestly, if you do have foot pain, you know, you should be considering custom orthosis or orthotics. The importance of physical therapy and chiropractic care. And also just, you know, we talked about this earlier, learning more about your body, understanding where your problem's coming from, and don't just expect for it to simply go away. Be proactive about your care, do your research, and reach out whenever, you know, you feel like you need to. So
Love that. Be healthy, be well,
yeah,
for sure.
that's right. That's what it's about, man.
Well, thank you so much. Obviously, so much experience and such a wealth of knowledge. We really appreciate your time today, and we'll have all your links right under the video there. So
Anytime you need me,
appreciate
I'm
it,
here,
Dr.
man.
Benji.
Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely. Have a
All right.
great day now.
Thanks. See ya.